In a quiet corner of the Peloponnese in southern Greece, hidden among hills and forests, stands a small stone chapel that looks ordinary at first glance. Its walls are simple, its size modest, and its surroundings peaceful. But as you draw closer, something impossible begins to reveal itself. From the roof of this tiny chapel rise 17 massive trees. Their trunks are thick, their branches stretch high into the sky, and yet the stone roof beneath them has not collapsed. No visible roots break through the walls. Beneath the chapel, a clear stream flows endlessly, cool and steady. This is the church of Agia Theodora of Vasta, a place where faith, legend, and nature intertwine so tightly that even today, no one can fully explain how it exists. According to local tradition passed down through generations, the story begins not with trees, but with a young woman, Theodora of Vasta. She was born in a time of hardship, in a region often visited by conflict and raids. Her family was poor, her father ill, and unable to serve in the local defense. In those days, every village was expected to contribute a man to fight and protect the community, but for her family, that was simply not possible. Determined to help, Theodora made a decision that changed her destiny forever. She cut her hair, donned male clothing, and took the name Theodoros, disguising herself as a soldier so she could join the defense of her village, fighting alongside men where no woman was expected to tread. She distinguished herself with courage and dedication, so much so that she was entrusted with important missions during a time of famine and hardship. One day, she was sent to collect aid from local families. It was during this mission that her secret would be discovered in the most dramatic and tragic of ways. In one version of the tale, a young woman fell in love with Theodoros. When her feelings were not returned, she grew resentful and accused Theodoros of having wronged her. Unable to reveal her true identity and unwilling to bring shame upon her family by exposing that she was a woman, Theodora accepted the consequences quietly. Condemned by those who believed the accusation, Theodora was taken to the place where the church now stands, a serene ravine near the village of Vasta. Here, she faced her death with courage and faith. As she lay dying, in those final moments between life and eternity, she spoke words that would echo through centuries. "Let my body become a church, my blood a river, and my hair the forest of trees." With that prayer, she passed from this world. Moved by what they came to see as her bravery and tragic fate, the villagers built a chapel in her honor upon the very spot of her martyrdom. This small stone church was constructed in the Byzantine era, most likely between the 10th and 12th centuries, dedicated to Agia Theodora, the saint whose life had become a symbol of devotion and sacrifice. But something extraordinary began to happen. Not long after the church was built, in the years that followed, a stream of water began to appear at the foot of the chapel, cutting its way through the ravine and creating a small river that flows beneath the building. A river that locals traditionally associate with Theodora's prayer for her blood to become water. Not far above, trees began to sprout directly from the roof of the chapel. 17 trees, corresponding in number to local accounts of Theodora's age or simply perceived as part of the miraculous pattern, grew up through the stone and reached ever higher into the sky. Visitors to the site today still report the same baffling mystery. There are no visible roots above or below the roof. Nowhere inside or outside the chapel where you can clearly see the source of the tree's sustenance. All the visitor sees are trunks and branches rising out of the stone, as if the trees were planted there by unseen hands. The roots appear to vanish into the walls of the church, threading through tiny cracks and cavities, yet they do not visibly damage the walls or structure, a fact that has puzzled both lay observers and scientists alike. Over the years, the phenomena of the trees and the water have attracted not just pilgrims and believers, but also researchers. In 1996, the Geophysics Laboratory of the University of Patras was invited to study the structure so restoration work could take place. Using ground-penetrating radar and electrical tomography, techniques that allow scientists to see inside a wall without damaging it, they sought to understand where the roots might be going and how the chapel could withstand such an unusual burden. The results suggested that the roots may thread through the walls and reach the soil below without breaking the stones, which themselves offer a surprising amount of soil and cavity space. But even this explanation does not fully answer the deeper question. How has this small stone building survived for centuries under the enormous weight and lever forces of 17 large trees without collapsing? However, for those who believe, the trees and the spring are a testament to Theodora's enduring spirit and divine blessing, a reminder that some wonders exist beyond explanation. People who visit the church often describe a sense of awe, not just at the unusual spectacle, but at how seamlessly nature and human architecture seem to coexist here. For believers, the trees and the spring are seen as physical manifestations of Theodora's prayer, a miracle made visible. For others, the scene offers a rare opportunity to reflect on how much of the natural world we still do not fully understand. No universally accepted scientific explanation has yet emerged for how the trees can grow so large without obvious structural roots or damage, and why the chapel continues to stand despite centuries of wind, rain, and the immense mechanical load placed upon it. Every year on September 11th, the Greek Orthodox Church commemorates Agia Theodora with pilgrims and visitors traveling from near and far to witness this unusual sight, light candles, and offer prayers. The place remains a living testament to the power of story, how a local woman's bravery, tragedy, and final words can become a sacred legend woven into the landscape itself. Some researchers have even noted that this chapel and its trees were recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records as a wondrous temple due to its unique nature, drawing travelers not only because of religious significance, but also because of its sheer visual oddity. What we are left with is a place that blurs the lines between legend and reality. A chapel built in honor of a woman whose life transcended her gender roles, whose final prayer became rooted, quite literally, into the earth above her grave. Trees that emerge as if from stone, a river that flows without invitation, and a structure that defies simple engineering logic. Whether one sees this phenomenon as divine mystery, rare natural quirk, or a combination of both, it continues to inspire wonder. The story of Agia Theodora is not just the story of trees and stone. It is a story about courage, sacrifice, faith, and how deeply human beings seek meaning in the world around them. It reminds us that even in our age of science and explanation, there are places where legend and observable fact intertwine, where a sense of mystery remains not because we lack intelligence, but because the world is richer and stranger than we often give it credit for. So if you ever find yourself in the heart of Greece, near the small village of Vasta, come and look upon this tiny chapel crowned by a forest, stand in silence beside the water that flows beneath it, and consider this. There are still places on Earth where nature and belief meet in ways that leave both scientists and pilgrims alike quietly astonished. The Church of Agia Theodora remains not as a mystery demanding answers, but as proof that some places exist beyond scientific explanation. If this story intrigued you, like the video and subscribe for more hidden histories and unexplained places. The world still has secrets, and this is just one of them.